Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing great today. I'm so excited to share a recipe with you that I've always wanted to try. This will be my very first time making it, and I have a feeling that once I try it, it'll become a must-have for all my guests. We're making spinach quiche today. First, I need to cook the spinach because it has to cool down before we use it. I'm adding 1 finely chopped onion and 2 small diced bell peppers into a pot where I've melted 2 tablespoons of butter. Then I sauté everything together. Next, I add 1 pack, that's 450 grams, of spinach into the pot. I close the lid for just a minute or two to let it soften slightly, then open the lid and continue cooking the spinach a bit more. Once it's done, I season it with salt and spices, then set it aside to cool. For the crust of our quiche, I cut 1 stick of butter into small pieces and place them into a mixing bowl. Then I add 2 cups of flour and use a pastry cutter to blend the butter and flour together until the mixture looks like coarse crumbs. If I make this again, I'll definitely use a food processor next time, and I recommend you do the same. Doing it by hand with the pastry cutter took quite a bit of time. Once the flour and butter are combined, I start adding 1 egg and then gradually add icy cold water, 1 spoon at a time, until the dough comes together. I added just 1 egg because mine was a double-yolk egg, but if you're using regular eggs, you can add 2. I also add 1 tablespoon of salt and start mixing the dough using a spatula. I add water as needed and keep mixing. The amount of water you need may vary depending on the size of your eggs and the type of flour you're using. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and subscribing helps me a lot as I work hard to grow my channel. Share it with your friends and family, and your support means the world to me. Thank you so much in advance. The dough is almost done now, so I transfer it to the countertop and knead it a bit. If needed, you can sprinkle some flour on the countertop to prevent sticking. I wrap my dough in plastic wrap and let it rest in the fridge for about an hour to chill. After an hour, I start rolling out my dough between 2 sheets of parchment paper, with a little flour sprinkled on top. You might wonder why I'm adding flour since I'm using parchment paper. Well, I can assure you, I really don't want the dough to stick to anything. I keep checking to make sure the dough fits my baking tray. If it doesn't, I continue rolling it out until it does. Now that my dough is ready, I flip the parchment paper over onto the baking tray, then transfer the dough onto the tray. After that, I carefully remove the parchment paper. I haven't rolled out the dough enough, so I gently pull the dough towards the edges of my baking tray, stretching it to fit. Now, to prevent the crust from puffing up too much, I prick it with a fork, then bake it in the oven at 380 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. While my dough is baking, I take the cooled spinach and add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 2 eggs to it. Then, I mix everything together. Now that my crust is baked, I immediately pour the spinach mixture into the crust and spread it out evenly. Then, I sprinkle a generous amount of shredded cheese on top and return it to the oven, baking it until the cheese melts and turns golden. Once the quiche is done baking, I wait a little to let it cool down, then transfer it to my serving plate. Since it's made with buttery dough, it comes out of the baking tray easily. Now, let's cut into it and take a taste. The quiche is creamy and packed with flavor, with the spinach and cheese coming together perfectly. The buttery, flaky crust adds just the right crunch. It's comforting and delicious. I hope you liked my recipe. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, and if you try it, make sure to leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.